is Next Level Thinking.
What's up, everyone? We're here on another good episode of Next Level Thinking to give you great energy and much more. It's your host, Chris Holm, as always, but I'm not the important person in this. I have my special guest by the name of
Dr. Tarcia Hubert.
Awesome Doctorate. Nice. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself so we can dive right into this and have some fun.
Alrighty, hi everybody. My name is Dr. Tarcia Hubert. I am, first of all, a Christian, a wife, a mother. I'm a professor, a math professor. I teach math. I'm a nonprofit founder and an entrepreneur. So my goal in life is just balancing all of that and doing the best that I can.
So you have a whole lot of different layers going on of greatness and going on, and I enjoy that. And then and most important, she's a Christian, strong woman doing some great things, and I love every bit about that because you need some encouragement in this world now today. Um, but let's dive into it and build this foundation. I got like a good feel of you, but like, how did this all start? Like, did it just like start just like, okay, I'm going to do this? Like, tell us the background story of that.
Ooh, okay. So you might have to cut me off because there's a lot of background. So I grew up in I'm from a small town called La, Texas. I grew up in Waco. Long story short, I wanted to be an engineer when I was in high school. I chose three colleges. I went with the college that gave me the most money. And when I
Okay, I don't blame you for that.
but when I got there, they didn't have an engineering program.
Oh no.
Yes, right. And so when it came time to choose a major, one thing my mom told me that stuck with me, I'll never forget. She said, I can't tell you what to major in, but whatever it is you choose something you love to do. And so I had to reflect and consider what is it that I love to do. And I always loved math. So I was like, I'm a major in math. I didn't know what I was going to do with the math major. It was just something I enjoyed doing. And it was just something that I chose. And so that's how I got into being a mathematician, long story short.
And we all know how math is very important, especially in the business world and counting your finances and much more. You don't realize how important math is until it hits you in that reality. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm missing something. Yeah, you miscounting something. So you may need to look at that again. And go give us a little bit more details. Like, I know you gave us a little bit of background of that, but like, really, what was the push for math? Like, what was like, give you like, okay, this is very important. We need to key on to this.
So when I was a freshman in college, I was recommended by two professors, a math professor and a chemistry professor, to tutor in what was called. I went to Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches, Texas. First of all,
Wait a minute, you went to my rival. Hold up, now the show's over. Now I'm playing.
um, yeah. So yeah, Sam Houston, y'all were our biggest rival. But I was recommended by two professors to work in what was called the ARC, which is where everyone goes and gets free tutoring. Of course, you pay for it in your tuition, but that's where you go and you get help. And so I went because I didn't have a job. It was a way, it was something, I like to do. And it was a way for me to make some extra money. I went and I got hired. And so I started tutoring. So I became like the go-to math person on campus where everybody came to get tutoring. And I actually enjoy helping people. Everybody had this fear of math, and you see this a lot. People like, oh, I don't like math. I hate math, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And so many people have this big fear of math, and I enjoy helping them overcome that fear. And so that's where I found a deep love for math. I saw that it was an issue that so many people, especially people that look like me and you, we feared math. And
Because
usually
we'd be like numbers, multiplication, division. Wait a minute, man. Can't we just do regular addition?
yeah. But when you dig into it, you usually when you dig into it, because I did start studying more into mathematics education, when you dig into it, it's usually based off of a bad experience with like a bad teacher or just some type of bad experience in the past that caused this fear to develop within us. And so I started tutoring. That's what made me realize I enjoy teaching other people math. I thought when I graduated from college, I would be able to teach high school math, but because I only got a bachelor's degree in mathematics, I wasn't able to teach math because I didn't have a teacher certification. They told me I would have to go through a teacher certification program, which would be a year and a half in order to teach. And so, me with my analytical brain, I'm thinking teacher certification program a year and a half, or graduate degree, master's degree 2 years. So I was like, bump that. I'm going to go get a master's degree. And so I went and I got my master's degree in math. And while I was working on my master's, they offered me a graduate teaching assistant position, which would allow me to teach remedial courses while I was working on my graduate degree, and they would pay for it. And so I started teaching college. And so I was like, hey, this is much better anyway. So
Everything paid off.
yes. So let me teach college. I still get to work with students that, I've been similar to students I've been working with. I still get to help them overcome their fear. I get to help students reach their goals, because a lot of times you never believe how many people wait and put math off to the end, and that be the class that holds them back from getting their degree. And so in a nutshell, I help students pass math. I help them learn to love math, but I'm also extremely passionate about helping to see young people reach their dreams and their goals, whatever it is they want to do in life, their passions.
And I completely agree with that because dreams and passions, I feel like it needs to put a little bit more emphasis. But I don't know what it is. Like when we become adults, it's like we lose that spark and fire. And I feel like that's what really gives you a purpose. And when you have these dreams, aspirations, and things that push you way past like the normal routine, because when you get stuck in the routine, you're not living life. You're just
Mhm.
there. And so it's like, what are you living for? And you got to have that.
Yeah, so I'm all about finding your passion and then seeking your passion, like doing everything you can to make it come to pass, like taking it day by day, step by step. And if you follow me on Instagram, everything I'm posting is motivational. It's about overcoming obstacles. It's about balancing the day to day. Um, so I have a lot of women who follow me who are similar to me. They're trying to be mothers, they're trying to be wives, they're trying to work a full-time job, but at the same time not let their passions die, because once you get into all of those roles, it's easy to forget about you and what you really want to do, what your heart is really moved and pushed by. And so my whole thing is just motivating other women, other people, young people, to really do that thing that is burning deep inside of you to do.
So, what would you tell like people who are going through their adversity or challenges, and what to keep them moving? Because life is going to hit you in like random moments and things and like that. And a lot of times people just want to give up. So, what would you say to them, or from your own experience, to help them get motivated to overcome the challenge?
So first thing is, don't give up. That's exactly what I'm gonna say. Don't give up. But also, and I didn't do this well when I was younger. I did, but I didn't. I did it long term planning, right? I was always short term planning. So it's good to plan, to set goals, right? And then create a plan to actually accomplish those goals. But sometimes, when you get discouraged, sometimes you don't know what to do. But if you go back to that plan and just reevaluate, like, okay, this is what I said. If you write it down, you look back at it and you be like, okay, this is what I said I was going to do. I'm going to keep pushing forward towards this, whether it looks like I'm making progress or not. Because a lot of times it looks like we're not making progress, when in actuality we are. It might just be small progress. As long as we're moving and we're doing something towards that goal, we are making progress. And I know a lot of times it gets discouraging when it looks like you're doing something over and over and you're not making progress. But you are making progress if you're doing something towards it. So I would say, don't give up, keep making progress. If you haven't written your goals and your plans down, write them down. That way, when you do get in those stuck moments, because we all have those stuck moments, you go back to the original plan to remind yourself what it is you're supposed to be doing, what you should be doing.
Oh, well said. And one thing I want to add on too is when it really comes down to this, and of course, like keeping motivating going on, is I feel like the biggest problem is a lot of people like to compare themselves to others. And it's like you're comparing yourself like to your parents, your friends, what you see on TV, what you see on social media. And I feel like even me at times, like we have guilties, like, okay, I'm doing this, and you see somebody else and you be like, oh, maybe it wasn't so good. And when we really need to just focus on our own journey, and then everything will come to pass. So let's hear your thoughts on that.
That is so true, especially in this age of social media. I saw a post yesterday where somebody said, I want to see the progress. I don't want to see the end result. Like everybody's posting their end result, but they're not posting the struggle, right? The progress. And so that's what we see a lot on social media is people post, the end result, or they make it look like they have this end result. We see this a lot too, but they necessarily don't. Like you'll be surprised by how many people on social media look happy, but in actuality they're miserable or they're unhappy. Or so social media can be deceiving. So that's one reason why we shouldn't compare ourselves to other people, because you actually don't know what that person is going through. And then you have to understand that you have your own unique journey. You have your own unique story, right? So what's for you is for you. What's for somebody else is for somebody else. Even though you and somebody else might be doing the same thing. Like I own a boutique. I know other boutique owners, like we might be doing the same thing, but we go on different paths. God has a different path for each of us. And so I think one of the most important things is staying in tune with the creator and leaning on him and trusting him for your guidance. That will help you to overcome, because those are natural feelings when you see other people progressing and having successes and you're putting in work, and it can make you discouraged. Those are natural feelings. But when you stay in tune with your creator and you know what it is that you should be doing and you just keep doing it, whatever that is that God has for you, it will come to you. What's for you is for you. Nothing nobody can do or say that can take it away. And there's a reel that's trending that says the market might be oversaturated. I know you've probably seen that one, but it doesn't have a you, and that's true. Like everybody could be doing the same thing. It's other people doing the same thing as you, but nobody is going to be able to do it like you. And that's important. And we can't let what we see discourage us. We just have to. And that's the whole thing about faith. Faith means, you do things that you can't see it in the natural, but you can see it like in the spiritual, right? Like you're moving towards it. Um, Noah built an ark and it had never rained before. He did what God told him to do. It had never rained before, and he's building this boat, talking about he's preparing for rain, and people were laughing at him. It wasn't about what had happened or what he could see. It was what he believed in the spiritual, right? So you have to believe. First thing, believe that you can achieve what it is you're trying to achieve, and then again, stick to the plan. Stay in tune with the Creator.
So I'm gonna go ahead. You already on route on this, so let's go into this question: the importance of faith in the foundation of everything that you do in life. I know you're probably about to light up on this one because a lot of this, I'm just gonna let you have it. Just go ahead.
Man, faith is so important because again, just talking about what we see around us. Sometimes we see things that look like it's not going to work in our favor. We see the odds stacked against us, especially as people of color, as women. We see odds stacked against us, and all of that stuff can discourage you. It can keep you in, it can make you change your mind. It can make you feel like this is not what you're supposed to be doing. It can make you stick to being in your comfort zone, right? It can make you stick to that routine that you were talking about earlier, just existing. But you have to believe something greater. You have to believe that thing that God blessed you with, you're supposed to be using it. And you are supposed to be using it. It's like the story in the Bible where the wealthy man, he gave three of his servants some talents, and two of them took their talents and multiplied them, right, and one of them buried his talent. And then when he came back, when the owner came back, he was mad at the one who buried his talent. He said, "You wicked and lazy man." He was mad at him because he didn't use his gift to go get more. And that's like us. God has blessed us with the gift. He has blessed us with the talent, and I believe he doesn't like it when we don't use our gifts and our talents. And so we have to take that thing that God has blessed us with, that thing that's inside of us. And you know what it is. It's that thing that's calling at you, that thing that's pulling at you, that thing that you can do over and over and over and be excited about it and not care about the time or whatever. But we have to believe that God has blessed us with that and that he wants us to use that ultimately for his glory, but also, to bless others, to help others, to benefit others. And so you got to believe it. And that's where faith comes in. And we get faith actually by reading God's word. So we have to, again, stay in tune with the Creator in order to build that faith, because faith is not easy. It's not easy if you're not nurturing it, if you're not building it. And I mean, I could go on and on, but I'm gonna stop there.
Hey, the mic is yours. So, just to add on to the points that you're hitting on now, is I want to ask you the importance of going beyond your comfort zone. Because so many people, I mean, in life, and this applies to everybody, we always want to do the things that are easy in life that we want to do. We do it all the time because regular routine. As soon as we get something that's different, like what is this?
Mhm.
Like this wasn't like this, or like when someone first start doing a new workout routine, like you used to original workout routine, do something else and it's hard and you're like, I don't like this. Well, anything you expect great is not going to be easy.
Mhm.
Like think of all the great accolades that people did throughout their history, or like winning championships and much more. It wasn't easy. That's why only a few have it.
Mhm. So, comfort zone, yeah. So comfort zone is something easy to stay in, right? But it's hard to get out of. I'm actually pushing myself out of my comfort zone right now with a few different things. My husband and I are working on some different business ventures, and it's a risk that we're taking, right? It's being pushed outside of our comfort zones. We live comfortable lives, like we make good salaries, and so we're pushing ourselves to do something different, and we're taking that risk. But we would never know what would happen if we never try it, right? So I do believe that you can't get to that next level if you're not willing to get out of your comfort zone. If you're willing to stay where you're comfortable, where things are going okay, and you're not willing to take that extra risk to try something different, you'll never know what will happen. You'll be living with would have, could have, should have, instead of saying, well, I tried it. Even if it don't work, I tried it, it didn't work, but I did learn this. So next time when I do something, I'm gonna do this differently. And I've been in that position before too, where I've tried things. It didn't work out exactly how I thought it would, but I learned something. I learned how to make it better next time. And I don't regret it. I don't regret doing it and failing at it, because I'm gonna try again and it's gonna be better. And I'm gonna keep trying again. It's gonna keep being better until I get to that level where God wants me to be.
Amen to that, sister. So, and to add on even more, and then we're going to go a little bit more direction, is I'm pretty sure you heard the saying, like the one of the richest places on earth is the grave. And it kind of kicks back on what you were saying earlier, how so many people have these talents, skills, and much more, but they don't want to showcase it, shine their light, or do it because they're afraid what people say, or something that, or somebody that somebody has told them, and they don't want to showcase their talents. So I want you to encourage others to shine their light or showcase their talent, or try new things even more further, because I mean, it's everybody has a purpose, and I think people need to realize that.
Man, that's my whole theme for this season right now is let your light shine. Like, let your light shine. Like, do what you feel inside you should be doing, and don't worry about what people think. Don't worry about what people have to say. Um, I like Brene Brown. She's a professor at U of H, but she has this book. She has a lot of books called Dare to Lead, but she's a great motivational speaker. And she has a Netflix special where she did a motivational talk, and she said, "You choose who you value their opinion, right? You get to choose whose opinion you value." Because she say everybody's always going to have something to say, and it doesn't mean that you don't listen and you don't care, but you get to choose whose opinion you value, and so you choose who those people are. And then even when they give opinions, you analyze it, you think about it, and you take it and do what you think is best with it, right? So you can't worry about the naysayers, because they're going to be naysayers. You can't worry about the ones who are going to talk down on you, who's going to have something negative to say, who's going to have negative comments. I get negative comments a lot on my posts.
I'm glad you said that, because that comes with the territory of shining your light.
Mhm. Yes. So you have to, and it's all about your perspective, right? Like, I know some people who'll be like, well, I would have to say something back, but I don't say anything back. Sometimes I delete them, and sometimes I give them a heart, a like. I mean, people have their opinions, but you can't let their opinions defer you from what you are supposed to be doing. Another thing, I have a great uncle who used to always say this scripture, and it has always stuck with me. It says, I must work the works of him while it is day, for when night comes, no man can work. And that has always made me think that I have to do all that I can while I'm living, because when I'm dead, I don't have that opportunity anymore. And I'm always the person where I say, I don't need accolades, I don't need rewards or awards. I just want to know at the end, when my time is over, when it comes to judgment day, I just need to know that God is going to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. And so, in order for him to say that, I need to be tuned into him and know what it is I'm supposed to be doing. And so, that's one of the most important things is just having that prayer life with God to know what it is you're supposed to be doing. Because I do know people who, like, I want to do stuff, but I don't know what I should be doing. And I can't tell you what you should be doing, but you got to tune in to God. You got to tune into yourself. You got to have quiet time to really think and to really pray and to really just listen to your thoughts to see what it is you should be doing. That's something each individual has to analyze and seek for themselves. But you definitely should be doing that thing inside of you that you feel you should be doing. Whatever it is you feel it, you know it. You know what it is, right? And if you're not sure, pray about it and ask God what it is and do it wholeheartedly. Do it. Don't worry about what other people think. The main person you should be trying to please is God. And as long as you pleasing him, that's the best thing. And usually when you pleasing him, he's gonna put motivation and support and encouragement around you to continue going and doing what it is you're supposed to be doing.
Man, the church say amen. Let's start with the no, I'm playing. I'm just being goofy. But those are all great words that we need to hear and just keep going because it's all part of your journey. You know,
Mhm.
you need times to yourself to actually reflect and then getting outside your comfort zone and like all these steps, phases, and much more. People leaving, coming in out of your life. That's all phases and it's all about your perspective, how you were brought that to the attention of the audience as well as how you see things because you can see this as a negative way or you can see as a way to okay, let me use this to build me. So all great words of encouragement to help people take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So as we get even more, because I don't want to hold everybody's time, but I definitely want to give time for this. Tell the audience more about your nonprofit and then the great things that they do in the community, so they can hear some information on that.
Okay, so I have a nonprofit organization called Making Awesome Things Happen. And it's an acronym for math, MATH, Making Awesome Things Happen. And basically, what we do is we develop mathematical proficiency among traditionally underrepresented students. So, one of the things I'm extremely passionate about is young people going into STEM careers because STEM careers are now the highest paid careers. That's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And they pay
Someone need
twice.
to put a note on that.
They pay twice as much as non-STEM careers. So if you can look at all the reports from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and the average salary of a STEM career is the median salary is 86,000, 80 some thousand dollars, whereas the median salary of a non-STEM career is 40 some thousand. Okay. So now STEM careers are heavy loaded with math. So
Can
now
I borrow $20 though?
so if we don't like math, most likely we're not going into STEM careers. So our whole objective is to get students interested in math enough to be able to have a STEM career on the table as an opportunity if they want to pursue it, right? Because going into a STEM career could definitely change the trajectory of somebody's life as far as their socioeconomic status. And so and we're underrepresented minorities. When I say we, I'm talking about African Americans, Hispanics, but from my research and the work that I'm doing, Hispanics are getting on the ball, but us African Americans are still behind on the playing field. So my whole goal is trying to increase the number of minorities that go into STEM fields, and I'm doing it through the avenue of developing mathematical proficiency. Because if you get to college and you're in developmental mathematics, most likely it's not always the case, but most likely you're going to avoid a STEM field. And a lot of minorities are going into college in developmental courses. I teach those classes. I work with people who teach those classes, and we see it over and over and over again. We look at the data all the time. And so we're on the path to try to change that as much as we can.
Very important because like math is used, I mean, lots on bills, but also when it comes to careers, they want to make sure the numbers are right when it comes down to it. And if you're not good on math, you start making mistakes, they're going to be like, you cost me even more money with
Mhm.
your mistakes. And You don't want to, if you want to get paid the amount that she was talking about, you want to be very accurate on that, and then at the top of your skill level, because then I'm like, oh, you're doing really well. Actually, you keeping me like, yeah, let's go ahead and throw you a little bit more. All right, keep doing that. Great job. And you want to be looked at as a highly recommended, so you can succeed in your career and much more.
And through my work and my research, we have the capability. It's not that we're not capable. We have the capability. We have the intellect. It's just a lot of times, as I mentioned earlier, is due to prior experiences. Teachers we have in math, not all of them, but it's a lot of teachers who we can't relate to, or the way math is taught. We feel like math isn't necessary when actually it is necessary. Because the way it's taught, it seems like this abstract thing that we don't use, but even just teaching in a way to where students know this is something we use. We use this a lot, and just helping them see that relevance and understand it. So our approach is like teaching it in different ways and things like that. And so we have the intellect, we have the capability, we can do it. It's just getting it out there and letting us know that, it's available. We can do it, and you can do it, basically.
And you most definitely can do it. But I want to go ahead and hit this one and address it. So, what are some of the past experiences that people may use to be like kind of stray away from when it comes to math? Because I don't want this to be like one of the things that like people like kind of throw under the rug. So let's address it now in the podcast. Like, what are some of the experiences that you've seen or heard people talk about? So when they hear it come from you, they'll be like, oh, that's just like me. So I can overcome it now, knowing that I know that I'm not the only one, because I think that's what happens. That people think I'm the only one going through this.
The biggest one is an experience with a teacher. Okay, so a lot of old school math teachers, they teach math in one way, and you got to do it their way. And if you don't do it their way, it's wrong. Where we all know with math, there is multiple solution strategies, right? There are multiple ways you get. It's one answer, but there are multiple ways you can get to that one answer. And so the curriculum is changing a little bit to encourage teachers to use multiple strategies. Like the new tests are now encouraging, well, they are making mandating teachers to use multiple strategies. But for people who are older now, they didn't have that experience, right? So they didn't get to use those different strategies to get to one solution. And so if I got to do it this way and only this way, like that turns me off, right? Or that turns some people off. Like some people, they have the mind frame where they can go in, they can learn, they can adapt, and they can get it. However you show them, they can get it that way. But some people have different mindsets, and they like, well, I'd rather do it this way. Well, and since I got to do it this way, I don't like this, And so, or they didn't pass the class because they wasn't doing it that way, and so now they have this bad record, these bad grades in math, or they got a lower grade, or they got points taken off because they didn't do it this way. So now they had this low grade, and so now they're getting tracked into lower level math courses when they're smart. They just want to use their method. They should be tracked in the higher level math course. So tracking is another thing where counselors put you in classes they think that you're capable of taking, right? Or you're on the path that they think that you should be on, instead of, as young people, a lot of times we don't know to advocate for ourselves. So that those are two. So a bad teaching experience, being tracked into lower level math courses. A lot of students don't know about dual credit, where you could take college classes in high school. You can graduate with an associate's degree while you graduate with a high school diploma at the same time. A lot of students don't know about that, so lack of knowledge. Also, it was something else I was going to say. Teacher experience. Oh man, it was one more I had on my mind, but it's a lot. But those are some of the few. It was something else I was going to say, and
Adversity.
Yeah, adversity.
I'm trying to spark your memory.
Yeah, it wasn't adversity. It was something else. But adversity is one. Not knowing where to go to get help, or being afraid to ask for help.
Peer pressure. I'm like going down a list.
It's not peer pressure. I don't think it's peer pressure. I can't. My mind went blank. I forgot what it was. But yeah. But those are some. And yeah, because I speak to a lot of so with college students, I have a lot of students who went to school like a long time ago, and now they're coming back and they don't remember, or they never really learned it. They didn't learn that foundation. They didn't learn it in elementary or
because I just learned for the test. I mean, I was guilty for that, like way early.
So
So
yeah, it's a lot of different things that hold us back from going into those, but and that was another reason why I started the nonprofit is because I wanted to work with younger kids to help them develop the foundation at a younger age so that they could build they have a strong solid foundation to build on, and then also so that they could see role models that look like them. My son is coming in. Yes, baby.
and we got another superstar coming onto the screen. It's all
What?
right.
No, no, say hi. No, I can't tell you. Just say hi. Look. She don't want
Don't
to say
get
hi.
shy now.
Oh, look at this shirt. You see
Oh,
it?
okay.
It's like brilliant minds, black kids count. And they got black kids with like numbers in their head. Just putting out images like that to let young people know that we do math. That's how you play about Just to let them know that we do math, we're good in math, and so forth.
Awesome, and it's good. Like, and that's just a reminder to everyone: you have intelligence. No matter what obstacle experience you may have had in the past, you are intelligent, and start telling yourself that more often. And because it's like one of those things, like you speak into existence. You start thinking it, believing it, and then you're gonna be walking it. And so, as we come to a close, I want you to tell the audience, leave us with a closing statement, and where can they find you to keep track of all your greatness and your journey as it goes and continues.
Okay, so first I'm gonna tell y'all where you can find me. I'm on Facebook as Tarcia Hubert. I'm on Instagram as Dr. Period T Hubert, Thuebert. I had to think about that. Dr. Period Thubert. So I'm on those two platforms. I also have a YouTube channel where I do post instructional math videos. So if you need help with math or your kids need help with math, I have instructional math videos that are heavily algebra based, geometry based, trigonometry based. So you can definitely check out my YouTube channel if you need help. And my closing statement would be to do what you love, and to love what you do. When you do what you love, I know you hear it over and over and over again, but it is true. When you do what you love, you don't feel like you're working. Like I absolutely love teaching math. I'm a math professor, and so I love my job. My husband and I have multiple businesses, and we know we're getting to a point where we could leave our jobs, right? But I always tell my husband, I don't want to leave my job because I love it. It doesn't feel like work. It's something that I love to do. So I want to encourage you to find that thing that you love to do. Figure out what it is and do it wholeheartedly. If you have a full-time job, put time aside, set aside time to work on that thing every day, or set a routine, a consistent routine that you can stick with to where you're working on that thing every day, and it will eventually build. If your goal is to leave your job and do that full time, it will grow if you work on it every day. The key is consistency, okay? So be consistent and do that thing that you love. Keep God first, and God will definitely bless you beyond what you can imagine or think.
Very well said. So I hope y'all enjoy this because it's going to take you to the next level. All great encouragement. And then you see that great $1 million smile from her, and then making you being more encouraged to learn those math skills and get that money. Y'all can give me $20, $30, maybe Benjamin. I'm just joking, but it's all good because we need to be reminded and tell ourselves as well that we are intelligent and we can overcome these things and be great in our lives in our own way. So with all that, let's go ahead and come to a close. This is your host, Chris Holmes, doing some great things, and I have my great guest by the name of
Dr. Tarcia Hubert.
Awesome. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and keep the conversation going, and because we're all about inspiring the world. So peace, and take it to the next level, and much love.